Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Madcapper, and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. We have a bunch of stuff to go over. First off, the opportunity to win 540 gems is live in this one. It'll be in the comments down below. I will need your UM code. I'll show you where the UM code is. It's info, it's right there. Paste it in the comments along with the comment, which I will tell you what to do later in the video, so you have to watch it. It'll be at the end. Don't worry, it's not gonna be that long a video. So that'll be your chance to win 540 gems. Now, also, don't forget Clan versus Clan is active, and you have personal rewards active as well. So if you want to get those personal rewards and your clan is going to try hard and win this time, go ahead. Finally, we have a rare spider tournament going on for some really good rewards. I've already kind of started it. I've got a team that I think is working pretty good. Where are we at? We're already at 156 points. Some very good rewards, some of the best rewards from these little ones, but it's all rare champions. I suggest going no further than stage 20. This is the team I'm using. We're using Dagger for the defense down. We're using 3 Cold Hearts and a Renegade to reset. The only bad part of this is that she does not have a 100% chance to land that defense down, so it can fail. I think there's a couple other champions that have it. The ones that I have built, they all have a chance to fail. War Maiden, it's the wrong affinity. If you want to get a 100% chance of success at a lower tier, you can do 19 with War Maiden. It'll work just fine. This exact same one, but put War Maiden in instead of Dagger. I'm doing 20 because I don't want I want the best chance for actual gear I'm going to use. So let's put this on while we go through the final part, which is of course the highlight notes that have been dropped. So there you go. We're going to start the multi-battle, and you can watch it in the background. Now, 6.10 highlights. Let's go through those really quickly. It's a smaller patch. It's not a big patch like the previous one was, where we put in the blessings and everything, but there's still some good stuff. First off, the Deck of Fate. If you didn't watch the What's Next in Raid, you probably won't know this. This is memory match meets gambling. It's just an opportunity. You earn cards by doing things in the game, and then you get to flip those cards, and if they're the same rarity, you get a bonus chest, right? That's, so cards coming 3 rarities. If you flip 3 cards the same, you get a fate chest. Basically, it's a bonus chest. And if you see here, you'll earn fate pumpkins for completing various in-game activities, raiding dungeons, leveling champion shards, and so on. These pumpkins can be used to flip cards on the Deck of Fate. So the Deck of Fate is just a big thing at cards. You can flip 3 cards and you get those resources, and you get a bonus chest if they match in rarity. Okay? Champion training tournament update. They're just adding the use of books, not champions, but actual books to increase skills. Legendaries 200, epic 75, rare 25. That's probably a good idea. Doing tournaments is harder and harder because there's less and less champions you need to upgrade the later game you get. I struggle. I have dupes and triplicates of shit that I'll never use. So it's good that I have other ways that I can gain these. But the only caveat is you don't give enough books as it is, and I have to save them for CVC. So when am I ever going to use these during a weekend tournament training champion? Thought we should mention that this is kind of a giving but not giving, because unless CVC lands at the same time as a champion training tournament, I won't use them anyway. Because if I have 6 legendary tomes, the 1,000 points out of 20,000 you expect me to have in a tournament training is not nearly worth as much as it is during CVC. So good on you, but unless they fall at the same time, useless. Forge Pass Season 4, I will put a link up over here to a video I did on Is Forge Pass Worth It? It was from a different perspective. Everyone has gone from the perspective of the total rewards you get, but I think a lot of those rewards are subjective. Charms, glyphs, all that stuff is kind of subjective. What happens if everything you get 5 speed glyphs, but they all roll a 1, then they were useless, right? So there's so much RNG in that. But what isn't RNG is the overall worth of the gear, and that's the video I did. It's a very long video. I promise you, though, it'll be worth it, and some interesting insight in what you can build and what your gear will look like after a full Forge Pass. What I did, I bought the Forge Pass on the final day, and then I crafted it all. Every last piece I crafted, and then I went through every last piece and I upgraded it during an artifact upgrading thing, and then those pieces that were worthwhile, those that weren't I sold, those that were worthwhile I then took to 16, built on champions, glyphed them out, and built champions for it. It's a really insightful, in my opinion, very insightful video on whether or not it's worth it. Play it on 2 times, skip through some pieces, but I think it'd be well worth it. So that should be up in the right-hand corner at some point during my big spiel there. At the end of the TLDRs, yeah, I think it's really worth it, and I'm going to buy Season 4. I didn't buy 1 and 2, but I'll definitely buy 4, especially with how good a bolster. The bolster set itself is phenomenal. It's shield set that can't be removed. That's phenomenal. All right. And it stacks with shield set, so boom. So global chat rules. Who cares? It's just telling you the rules that you need to know for global chat that no one uses, except for those that do use it to try to sell accounts. Then they get banned. So now we have champion rebalance. There's 4 champions in the rebalance, I believe. Baron's the first one. So Baron basically is, there's a couple things that are happening. First off, Sky Piercer is going to no longer be a hidden skill. So it's going to be a regular skill of his to be used just like the rest. It's now got a cooldown of 4 turns. And so all these things that are changing is they're removing unlocking of Sky Piercer, right? So Sky Piercer, Sky Piercer, Sky Piercer, all that's gone. It's automatically open from step 1. Also, there's a 1-turn cooldown on Righteous Charge, which is a pretty big hit. So that's kind of a big deal to have. Now you've got the Righteous Charge to 1/1, and now Sky Piercer used to be pure damage, which is 100% ignore defense, ignores every kind of modifier. So pure damage would ignore everything. Although I don't think it ignores strengthen, because strengthen is a damage reduction. I don't know. I'm curious. I don't think it ignores strength. Let me know in the comments down below, along with your UM code, and one other thing that I'll tell you at the end of the video, whether or not pure damage would ignore strengthen. But it ignores increased defense, ignores defense completely, so obviously increased defense. Away you go. Also, you don't need a decreased defense because it ignores it, but now it's 50%. Which, while I'm a little bit disappointed that they did it to 50% of the target's defense instead of pure, I will acknowledge that you're probably already debuffing the target for 50% of their defense. So that means this is going to be an additional 50% of the remaining. So you're looking at a pretty big hit still nonetheless. So Sky Piercer is going to be pretty nice, hit really hard. But equally important is base speed's going up by 10, which is a monstrous amount of base speed to go up, so making him very good. I think overall this is a check mark for Baron. I don't know how this affects those that were using Baron to cheese through the Doom Tower for the speed times. I never did it, so I couldn't tell you what that's going to affect, whether or not this now breaks that. If it does, I could care less. Boo-hoo. Overall, he's going to be an actual usable champion. How usable? We'll have to see. Bloodfeather. I made a video on Bloodfeather, by the way. They'll should be up again to the right-hand side. There will be a link somewhere about I built them so you don't have to series. Check out the whole series. I now have 80-plus champions in the series built. All epics, all champions that you may want to build. At least give my video a look. Make sure that you can see what it can and can't do before building your own. Bloodfeather was one that I overall did recommend building for Faction Wars, and the reason was she had an aura for increased crit rate, plus she had the chance of critting herself so that her crit cap was lower, making her easier to build. It was a no-brainer to build her for Faction Wars, use her as the lead, and go through your things with a champion that you never had to touch again because you're always just using her in Faction Wars. So what did they do? They added a 10% to her extra crit. So it's now 30%, which means you only have to build her to 70% to crit cap her. That's a big deal. Also, there's a cooldown component here on the A3, and the target turn meter decreases 50%. Now, I can't 100% remember whether or not this has a book cooldown. So is this 4 to 3 and 5 to 4, or is it just 4 straight? If it's 4 straight, I think the decrease is kind of a trash. By the way, I see the spider fail. Sorry. Excuse me. COVID, not COVID, just kidding. Don't do that. Oh, by the way, that's okay. So anytime I don't land that decreased defense is a fail. I'm willing to sacrifice that energy for the tournament because the tournaments are that good. By the way, spider. So back to her. So if this is a 3-turn, I think the decreased 50% might make her a little more viable in certain abilities and comps. Maybe this is a champion you can use in maybe you can use her in Fire Knight now. Maybe you can use her in Fae. Just anywhere you need that target decrease. Either way, she's better than she was, and she was good for Faction Wars, in my opinion. So if you're gonna build her out, you're only better off now than you were. So it's just a matter of whether this is impactful enough to warrant using her outside of Faction Wars. I would argue that it seems that way. Maybe for you can't mess with the Twin Towers target turn meter, but if she has a 3-turn cooldown, she puts that decreased speed, she hits really hard, yeah, maybe you might find use for her somewhere. So she's better. Is she impactful? Probably not, but at least she's more usable in a champion that I think already was somewhat usable. Now we have Snorting Thug. Snorting Thug is now getting a 30% chance of stealing a random buff on his A1, and has a 1-turn cooldown on his A2. I'll tell you what, if this was a champion like Tyrell and you were up in the chance of his decreased attack and maybe lowering the cooldown on his AoE defense down, bringing him back in line with the other epic defense down champions, then that's good. These little micro changes for a champion that was meta, fell out of meta, and you're just bringing him back up, that's great. Snorting Thug was never in meta. He's a very specific champ that can do very specific things in a very small subset of the game, and this doesn't change that one iota. Will he be good for Faction Wars? Absolutely. He'll probably be better, but we don't see any increased damage from what I have been able to find. All you're seeing is a cooldown and an extra chance, 10% chance, which is still 70% chance not to. So you're definitely not building for a 70% not to on each hit. But it's a nice to have. Yeah, some of you will probably use him in Faction Wars. He's going to be better than he was, but he's not going to be amazing now. This isn't a game breaker in my opinion. It's still 2 single target abilities that whatever. Honestly, whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. And then finally you have Ripper here. Ripper is max HP. This is the same problem. 10 to 30% max HP, 30 to 40% max HP, 1-turn cooldown, same defense, same everything else. Now they are changing his aura to an all battle crit rate of 19%. Used to be a force ally in all battle by 23, so that's a good change. Getting rid of that force modifier just makes him easier to use. But other than the Scarab boss, where am I going to use max HP? Now this guy hits hard. I did a video on him. It's in the I Built Him series. And I said, yeah, I was actually really shocked about the amount of damage. I actually used Ripper to finish Skinwalkers way back before the nerfs. And it was very difficult. But I used him, and it worked. So, I mean, there's so many more... I know there's not enough, but there's more champions and Skinwalkers now than there was. I don't use them anymore. I don't think this makes them any more usable. And I don't think max HP reduction is used anywhere outside of Scarab. Please let me know. So I think he's fallen further from when I built him. I was like, hey, he's usable in Skinwalkers because of Skinwalkers. Now I won't even say that. I don't think he was usable in Skinwalkers, and I don't think this changes a darn thing. He's still not usable in Skinwalkers unless you don't have other options. He is a single target nuker. He nukes very hard. If you need him for Scarab and you can get a shield on him all the time, maybe put him in a blood shield ring. Again, he would be good for you, but it's not impactful enough. He's not impactful enough. The abilities aren't, and certainly not the changes. I think these are two trash updates on Ripper and Snorting Thug. Let me know in the comments down below. Now your chance for 540 gems. Let me know, where would you use a reduce max HP champion outside of the Scarab boss? This ability from Ripper that they've boosted significantly. Where would you use that you didn't like? Where outside of the Scarab is that even useful? Let me know in the comments down below, along with your UM code and any other comments you want to make on the video or any of the changes. And you will be entered to draw. It will be one of 5 winners of 540 gems and an ancient shard that'll be given at the 10th of the month next month, and we will probably draw that either Sunday or Monday. So you have essentially the whole week to do it. Now I got to get work on my real job, so we're going to cut this right now. Thank you very much for watching the video. Remember to like, subscribe, follow, put on the notifications. Maybe even play my entire I Built Them series on the background on a second computer in a loop over and over again. Whatever you can do to help me, I would be greatly appreciated. And other than that, please be safe, be kind. We'll see you in the next video.